Hey Stampin' Friends, Darlene with Darlene Stamps. Thank you so much for stopping by. We're going to jump into the alternates for this Exploring the Color in May. And to kind of do step by step. So even though these are going to be really fun, because look at those cards. Aren't those just picturesque? And different kinds of backgrounds. So we're just going to jump in and do some alternates, even though the pictures are going to be amazing and cards, but I always like to show extra ways of making this kit go really, really far. So stay tuned. Okay, this is step 2, and this is where I've taken the cards that I showed you and have made them into 2 pieces. So for example, this was the full card. Where's my, there it is. This was the full card, and then I just separated. So it's basically the 5 1/4 by 4. And so all of my bases are all set up. So we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18 cards based on the 9. So we've now doubled it. And then I'm going to come back just a second. I'm going to show you what I've done with my, we'll make some cards. And then I've taken the envelopes. Now there's not a lot of what I would call my DSP, but the beautiful edges on this. So what I did was I just took the inside flap, made those into nice pieces, because this will be a little thicker than like contact paper or copy paper, but it will be the same color white, because our basic white's a little bit brighter. So, and then I just made these into like little postcards, so we'll make some designs with that. So and then just so you know, I use my guillotine to cut these, because if you use the trimmer, they'll fray really bad. So you can see how this kind of frays, kind of frays a bit, whereas these have a nice clean edge. So kind of difference on that. And then, you know, the new colors are out. So the colors with the copper clay, boho blue, moody mauve, and pebble path wild wheat are all in the new one. So I don't have those colors yet. So this is how I kind of improvise. I do keep my old outdated, not current stamp sets. So I kind of substituted fresh fig, marina mist, cinnamon cider, and sweet sugar plum to kind of help with my colors. But I really utilized this. So this, it can be replaced with the paper. So as you can see, here are my envelope lids. I have to cut these little fireplaces out, or fire pit. So I'll cut those out, and I'll be right back with some samples. So here's the first card I'm going to show you. And this, let me, so in the next samples, I want to make sure that you know kind of where these came from inspirational wise. So the one has the Always in Adventure. I'm going to use some of those. And this was By the Dock. And then this is the Heron Habitat. Tree lot dies, and then this is the Stitch So Sweetly. So just want to make sure those are the ones. I'll put them in the description as well, that I'm going to pull from inspiration. So anyhow, so we're going to take our 1 card base and kind of cover up the canoe and put my dock in there. Now, when I was stamping, I boo-booed, so I want to show you, and I'm going to use it for my sample. So, so in the gray, so this is slate gray, no, smoky slate. And when I cut it, as you can see, let's see if I can get it in here a little bit. It's not as crisp. It doesn't come up very much. I don't want to get too much, but I did boo-boo on here. So 2 things. One, whenever you cut, you're going to have kind of a good side and a bad side. Normally, this is the mountain side, and this is the valley side of the score. In this case, I'm going to have to flip it just because I need to cover that, and I don't want to lose this piece of paper. So I'm going to use my scoring tool to move down that blade cut, and then I'll use my, I thought I just put it, oh, I'm going to put my emery board and just smooth out that edge. So you don't want it to be too much, but you do want to make sure that it gets some of those frayed aspects, and then voila. All right, so in cutting this out, now if you've watched me before, you know I like using up every single piece of my cardstock. So this is as close as I get to somewhat of the color of the copper clay, but it is just the crimson cider. So, and I use the inside because that's valuable real estate, and this is what the inside looks like. So just to give you a screenshot, there's that base that I took, there's that cutout piece, and then this is the inside that I showed you earlier. So this becomes a very, very simple card with some good background. And these came in the kit, so just to kind of give you an idea. So I got that out. Now, let me go back real quick. So on this, I use regular tumble glue to put down the cardstock, but on this it's very thin, so you don't want to use glue because it'll clump up. So you want to use your snail. Okay, so in doing this, I'm gonna make sure I have my right side. And you'll know, I mean, like, so this is, I have a cut on this side for my washi tape that's not supposed to do that, but because I'm going to cover it, I'm not going to worry about it. And then I don't know if I said it in my last video, so if you are mailing cards, especially a lot of them, I do a lot of projects for folks. So when I do that, if you use a lot of snail is not friendly when you go through the mail. So it kind of can release. So just make sure you use tumble as long as it won't leave that bubble. Now I'm going to take a step real quick and I'm going to show you Mossy Meadow is one of the colors, and on this one I actually stamped this after I glued it down, but just to let you know, sometimes it doesn't always turn out that good. So I was trying to kind of give you a tidbit. Before you glue this thing down, make sure you have, I need some cushion. Make sure you have your stamping done before you put it down. So, and one of the nice things also is there's times where I may not use my Stamparatus, but that's okay because I can use my right markers to kind of fill in if I need to. All right, so then we put our, and just for the sake of time, I'm not going to glue. You don't need to watch me glue, but basically, you have your duck, you have your oar, and you have your boat. So anyhow, that is basically, and then by putting it on here, the layer helps a little bit when you're trying to get some dimension. So that basically becomes our card, and I'll be back with some others. All right, this is the last segment. Just want to show you some alternates, because I showed you some techniques and some tips before. These are from the envelope, but we'll put those aside. So this is from the Silverstream little trailer, but it came from the tree farm dies. Just using that background and giving kind of an extra, and this came from the Heron Habitat from the Happy Birthday. So kind of getting my happy birthdays out of the way. This one is using kind of an idea that was already in there. I used, let me back up. I used the Mossy Meadow for the base, and then I did the layer with the Daffodil Delight. This is the Daffodil Delight, and then I used the Mossy Meadow for the circle. Just cutting out that circle of the same theme kind of gives you a little extra depth for that. And then this is from the March 2022 sentiments, and then the birds are from the Heron Habitat. Then this is also from the Habitat, kind of using the dies from here. This is, of course, from our kit. And then offsetting it. So I still get some of those little cattails the side, and then some of the cattails. Now, this is not the color in the kit just because I don't have that color, but it's close. But I used the cinnamon cider, and then the paper is from the envelope lid. So there's that one. This one is from the set from the camping, which was the Always an Adventure. Get the balloons. Kind of reminds me of Steamboat Springs. And I used the base of the Daffodil Delight and the cinnamon cider as an extra layer for some depth. So you see how small that is, but it kind of breaks up that yellow that's in there. And then they always have their balloon festival. And using the blocking kind of made sense with the balloons. Then this was fun, same set, just the dies, so I kind of emphasized the tint. I know the tint's kind of smaller in this size, so you see the difference, kind of add some more pop to it, bringing a bigger tint to it. And then the directions that come with the die set, and the birds and some clouds. Then these are from the envelopes. And just, this is not a sentiment from Stampin' Up, just FYI, but got the balloons in there, but giving you, and this is the cinnamon cider, but this is the background using those inside pieces that I showed before. So there's 2 of those. We got some graduations coming up, so I thought, well, I would use my alternates and kind of do a twist on that. Then these are the dies from In the Pines. So there's those 2. There's another one, same of that little cutout. And I showed this in the previous, but I didn't have the birds. I thought the birds kind of added. What do you think? And then these 2 were kind of fun. So the Mossy Meadow is my base, and then In the Pines was my background. And just did some of the pine cones that came from the kit, and the inside scoop, and pop that up. Then this one was, I think, my favorite. So the kit kind of has the mug and the compass, and then the shoe. And then these came from their little screws, kind of like what a boot would have, possibly. So anyhow, but this was kind of a fun way with the envelopes, with the different types of alternates. So I hope you found some inspiration, got some good tips, and I will look forward to seeing you on our next adventure. Bye for now.